Myths and legends are born in the darkness of the unknown. From unsolved murders and unexplained events, the human mind tries to fill in the pieces that the evidence cannot. Shrouded in mystery and obscured by superstition, the truth remains hidden. However, there are some that delve into the darkness to see the answers and find the truth. Join us as we journey past the evidence and look for answers in our descent into darkness.
Oh, I was going to tell you, did you notice? So I did go on your Discovery Plus, but the first thing I watched on it was the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah.
Bowl.
Yeah, well, that's everything. Was it good?
I liked it better than the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. Super Bowl's pretty lame.
Oh, they were pretty cute. I wanted to adopt them all.
Yeah, because they have that dodo thing that has all the animal stuff on there, including a lot of whatever that guy's name is who hosts all those nature shows.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a couple of things on there from them too.
And it's really funny too because they have like announcers who like try and talk like the announcers for like NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But it just sounds ridiculous, obviously, because it's dogs. But it was pretty good. Otherwise, I haven't checked any of the true crime stuff on there yet.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in there. There's stuff like there's documentaries, and then there's like the shows where it's more of an investigative type look into things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, it's got a lot of good different things, and plus, if you like HDTV stuff, it has that on there too.
Oh well, I did watch because Rachel's insistent on me trying House Hunters, like comedians on couches.
Oh, okay.
And do you know what that is?
I've heard of the House Hunters, but I didn't know about the comedians.
So basically, it's like three. Well, I think it's two main comedians, and then they have like a guest every week. But they will make fun of people on House Hunters.
Oh, okay.
So Rachel just loves it, and I watched it, and I couldn't get into it though. I don't know if it's just that first episode, like the comedians were like too much for me. Like they were, I don't know, they were just kind of loud and like, I don't know, it was just okay. I would maybe try one more episode, but Rachel really likes it if you want to give it a whirl.
What's that on? Is that also on Discovery Plus, or is that?
Yeah, I think I watched it on Discovery Plus.
Okay, I'll look for it then.
Yeah. Do you have it free because of Verizon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have Verizon too, so I could probably get it as well.
Yeah, and then after that, I think it's $5.99 a month, or $6 if you want no ads, or it's $4.99 a month and it's $5.99 ads. I forget which one it is.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I'll probably keep. It's not that expensive,
right?
And you get a lot for what it is. So
yeah, that's nice. It's a good like variety too.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So while I was looking for shitty movies to watch, I came across a couple that I thought looked like pure gold. But I didn't watch them yet because I feel like I can't, in good conscience, watch it without my dad. And he's planning to come out in March, so I'm like saving them. Nice. But the first one that popped up was Killer Pinata. And I am serious. The trailer for Killer Pinata looks amazing. Like, it is literally like a camera behind a pinata, like no special effects whatsoever, and like the little pinata is just like hobbling around and killing people.
Oh my god!
Where did I see that? I want to say it's on Prime, and I think if you have Prime, it's free.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe give that one a try.
I'll have to check that one out.
I watched the trailer like 3 times. I really wanted to watch it. I'm like, no, I'm gonna wait for my dad. The second one, I don't know if it was going to be as good. It seemed a little bit more so-so, but it was The Killer Sofa. I know. I'm like, I don't know how these things are Killer Pinata popped up as something I may like, which, I mean, yeah, I watched some shitty horror movies, so I'm not surprised it came up. Killer Sofa, I can't remember how I found. But yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a sofa that starts murdering anyone who sits in it. So, if anyone's watched those, please let me know what you think. But I'm going to be watching them regardless, especially the Pinata one.
Well, what I'm waiting for is to watch the new Nick Cage movie that has him. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's, where he goes into this old like Chuck E. Cheese type place, and there's these mechanical uh, puppets that
What?
usually
I don't
perform
think
there
I've
that are
seen.
actually alive.
I don't think I've seen a preview for this.
Oh my god, you gotta see the preview. It's hilarious.
Oh my
And
god, do you know what
it's
it's called? I mean, I'm sure I could just look up new Nick Cage movie.
I forget what it's called, but it just
Oh,
came out. Right now it's in the theater mode, so it's $20 to see, so I'm waiting for it to get out of that so I can just watch it. But yeah, it looks it looks great.
oh, is it Willy's Wonderland?
Yeah, Willy's Wonderland, that's it.
Oh man, yeah, his face is covered in blood. He already looks insane. I'm very excited.
It's like a perfect Nick Cage movie.
Yes. I appreciate that he just keeps doing stuff.
Yeah, like I don't care how bad it is. I don't care how good it is. Like it's one of those things where he's just whatever he brings to the screen, it's going to be good.
I just enjoy him. Also, I see so it has 3 movies coming up in 2021, Nick Cage movies. And one of them's called the The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Kind of interesting what. Oh shit. Okay, it says an obsessive fan forces actor Nicolas Cage to recreate his most famous characters and scenes during a birthday party.
Oh my god.
Oh, that comes out March 19th. Okay, I'm excited
There
now.
you go.
All right, so we got a couple Nick Cage movies to watch. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Anything else new with you?
Not a whole lot. I'm just looking forward to the because I have HBO Max. I'm looking forward to the Snyder cut of the Justice League movie.
Oh, yep.
Um,
I
I
seen the
have,
preview for that, and I actually thought it looked really good. And I'm not like, um, I don't know. I don't follow those super closely, but I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that looks good.
yeah, like I mean, and I heard they're correcting a lot of things that were problems with the original one. Like I think they're removing one of the big things that a lot of people had issues with is that um, what's his name? Who Henry Cavill, who plays
Mhm,
Superman, who's also
mhm,
Witcher.
mhm.
Uh, they CGI'd the beard and mustache off his face because they didn't. He's Superman. He's not supposed to have a beard and mustache. I heard they
Mhm.
supposedly reversed that so it won't look weird,
Oh, okay.
or they
What?
fixed it or something.
Why wouldn't he just shave his face?
He was shooting Mission Impossible at the time, and he had to have a beard.
Oh, okay.
So he was doing two things, and he couldn't. He was
Gotcha.
contractually had to have it.
I was thinking in that movie that he looked different, but I wasn't sure what it was, like the original one that I
Yeah,
watched.
because
Um,
his lip was like weird when they did Justice League. It was like, what's going on with his upper lip?
just trying to like edit out a beard and
Right.
mustache.
It's like,
No,
yeah,
that
it's
looks
not. That
pretty
doesn't
good
look
too.
good. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I have. I mean, obviously, after seeing the first one, my bar's pretty low on it. So
Yeah,
it's like I really can only be better.
I honestly don't think I finished the first one, and I don't think I knew that it was because it wasn't good. I think I just thought I was missing stuff because I haven't like kept a close, track with the other movies. But
Yeah.
then I saw like all the reviews, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe it was just a shitty movie.
Like it has so much potential, and then like, but
It should. I mean, if you got all those characters in one, and like everyone's stoked to see them, like you'd think it'd be fairly easy for it to be successful.
well, and there's a whole conspiracy thing behind the scenes, like that. That Warner Brothers really wanted to get rid of Zack Snyder because for
Mm,
whatever reason they were having some issues because he wanted to do certain things and they were didn't agree with him. And then
mm.
his daughter committed suicide while he was shooting this, so he hadn't finished the film yet. So he ended up
Oh
leaving the
shit.
project because he had that plus all the stress of dealing with with Warner Brothers, so he was just like, I just need to take a break. So then they brought in Josh Whedon to finish it up for him, and he feels like Josh Whedon fucked him over and kind of made it this whole other thing to make it bad on purpose to make Zack Snyder look bad, and so there's like, but that's like one of the conspiracy things that happened.
I mean, even if that last part isn't true, that's all really fucking rough.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, yeah, his daughter dies. Like, what do you expect a guy to do? You know,
Yeah,
he's got some other
shit.
shit going on.
Give him a break. Holy cow.
So, but
You know
it's
what?
supposed to be an extra 2 hours.
An extra 2 hours. What do you mean? Like it's gonna be a 4-hour movie?
Yeah, because originally it was 2 hour movie, so now it's gonna be like a 4 hour movie. They're doing 2 parts.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. You know what? I finally started watching
What?
that you told me to watch like years ago. Well, not years, but a while ago. Lovecraft Country.
Oh yeah, I love that series.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm about halfway through it. Yeah, I really
Mm-hmm.
like it. It's not at all what I expected it was going to be.
No,
I,
and
did,
it's like
I didn't know what to expect, so, but.
I like how they really brought in like the whole H.P. Lovecraft stories
Uh-huh.
into it, but also they have this to deal with the fact of all the at those times how
Mm-hmm.
race was and how blacks were treated, and kind of really shows you how that lifestyle was at that time, including they focus quite a bit on the what was it, Kansas,
Mm-hmm.
where they the all the white people decided to destroy this affluent black neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a
Yeah,
big part of that, and again, it goes a little bit in depth on what exactly.
yeah, it's intense. I remember that, the one sheriff from the Sundown County, like I remember being like, oh, I just want to fucking kill this
Oh
jackass.
yeah,
Like I can't even imagine. But yeah, and they have great actors, and it's just really cool visually, and I like the music. It's really good.
yeah, it's done really well.
It did. I'm not gonna lie though, like that. I didn't expect it to be as would you say, I guess, supernatural. Like I don't know. I knew it was like that just based on like movie posters and stuff. But like when they were in the woods and you first see all those creatures, it actually scared the shit out of me because I didn't expect it at all.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like, oh
that part's
fuck.
really creepy. Yeah,
Yeah. So
there's
yeah.
actually quite a few parts in there that are like really like scared the shit out of you.
Oh, okay. So far, I am like, so I mean, it's been on long enough, so I could say a bit, but I won't give anything away really. But Letty like bought the house, that old house
Oh
that's
yeah, and
haunted.
they just started moving in. Yeah,
Yeah, and then of course it's in a white neighborhood, so people are not cool. Um, and the main dude, why can't I think of his name? Um, but the main dude is kind of talking with that strange looking blonde chick.
yep.
That's where I've left off. So yeah.
Has it gone to? Have you seen the part yet where he goes back to where he's in the war?
No.
Okay, it
He,
gets it
he's had
gets.
like he's had a couple brief flashbacks, but not like a big part of it yet.
There's a part where he meets a woman who I forget if she's Korean or Japanese, but yeah, there's that gets really interesting.
Okay, so I knew in the big in the beginning he's like trying to call her and he almost seems afraid of her. But
Mm-hmm.
so I figured they're gonna come back to that, but
Yeah,
interesting. And there's just one season of that out, right?
yeah, just one season.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Well, should we get into our story?
Let's do it.
All right. So today we're discussing the perplexing case of Ricky McCormick and his cipher. The reason this is so strange is the fact that the victim, Ricky, could hardly read or write, but he was found in the middle of nowhere with a strange cipher in his pocket. The FBI and others have all tried to decipher the note, but to this day, no one has been able to figure out what the code in the note says, and Ricky's death remains a mystery. I didn't know about this story either, so this was and it's a little more recent, 99, so
Yeah.
that's interesting. References, we used esquire.com and fbi.gov. Alrighty. Let's get into spooky time.
The death of Ricky McCormick has baffled investigators for decades, along with his mysterious coded letter that was found on his person. There are several theories as to what happened. Tonight we will look at one theory and how it may have played out based on the information we know of the case. The following is just a theory, and some parts are fabricated to fill in the holes. First, some backstory. Ricky worked at an Amico gas station, where his boss was named Bahab, or known as Bob Hamadallah. Bob owned the gas station and was also a local drug dealer, who often sent Ricky to Florida to pick up his supply for him. Ricky would head down there and would pick up large quantities of marijuana for him. In the days leading to Ricky's untimely death, family and friends reported that he had seemed scared and on edge. He had even gone to a doctor due to chest pains and irregular breathing, which also could have been signs of extreme anxiety. Bob wasn't the only dealer in the area. In Ricky's neighborhood, there was a high-level drug dealer named Gregory Lamar Knox. Knox was suspected in several homicides in the area, including a gas station attendant whose body was dumped in the same exact area as Ricky's. Things may have played out in the following way. Ricky was sent to Florida to make a pickup for more product for Bob. It was also at this time that Bob and Knox were becoming competitors, as Bob was trying to push his marijuana into the area that Knox was already in. This was causing issues between the two. When Ricky returned from Florida, he was approached by Knox and threatened by him since Ricky worked for Bob. Ricky, already struggling with poor mental health, became agitated and anxious. He told Bob about what had happened. It was Bob's idea at this point that Ricky keep an eye on Knox's operation, since he deals in Ricky's neighborhood. Although Ricky is hesitant to do this, since he was already threatened by Knox, but he's also very afraid of Bob, so he agrees to do it. Ricky starts carrying a piece of paper and pen with him and records Knox's movements in his neighborhood. Since Ricky suffers from some mental health issues, he begins to use a strange cipher, which only he understands. He usually uses it by phonetically sounding out different things, along with different combinations of words. It's his way of doing shorthand. For a while, things seem to be going well. Knox hasn't noticed him, and Bob is liking the information that Ricky is able to report to him. Ricky continues to spy on Knox and write down what he observes. However, Ricky eventually gets caught spying on Knox's operation. Knox confronts him about it. He gives him an ultimatum to either turn on Bob and help him, or he will kill him. Ricky chooses to help Knox since he feels he has no other option. It's at this point that Knox decides to have Ricky help him steal Bob's supply and money. Ricky tells Knox where Bob keeps his supply and where he keeps the money for the drugs at the gas station. Knox and his group make arrangements with Ricky to steal the money and drugs when Bob is not around. Ricky gives them Bob's itinerary, and they have Ricky distract Bob to make sure he won't be around when they hit the gas station. After they successfully steal the drugs and money, Bob returns back and asks Ricky what had happened. Ricky gives Bob a story about how Knox came in with his crew, and they were armed, and they stole the drugs and the money. Bob is suspicious of Ricky, but seems to accept the explanation. Later, Bob eventually finds out the truth from a third party that overheard Knox and Ricky planning the heist. Infuriated by this, and no longer able to trust Ricky, Bob then waits until Ricky comes to work on June 27th. At the end of Ricky's shift, Bob invites him to go with him to meet a new supplier. Ricky agrees to go with him, hesitantly. However, eventually he gets in the car and drives with Bob all the way outside of town, near where Knox had allegedly dumped one of his victims previously. It is late at night when he pulls over and tells Ricky that he has to pee. He also asks Ricky to get out, to keep an eye out just in case anybody was following them. As Ricky is not looking, Bob suddenly sneaks up on him and begins strangling him from behind until Ricky is dead. He then takes Ricky's lifeless body and discards it in a ditch and drives away. It is Bob's hope that, if found, they will link Ricky's death to Knox and therefore get Knox and his crew arrested, therefore eliminating his competition. However, due to the decomposition of the body, police are not able to determine the cause of death or link his death to anyone. All they have is his strange cipher.
All right, thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, no problem.
So like I said, this one's a little more recent, 1999, on June 30th. The body of 41-year-old Ricky McCormick was found in a cornfield in West Alton, Missouri. McCormick's body had been decomposing in the field for several days prior to its discovery. Authorities had to use fingerprints to make a positive ID. Even with this, the rate of decomposition made it difficult for medical examiners to determine the cause of death, even after an autopsy and a toxicology report. But after considering the suspicious nature of where the body had been found, and where the body was found is also like a dumping area for other murder victims, investigators classified the death as a homicide. So in McCormick's front pocket were 2 pages of hand-printed notes containing a complex cipher that the FBI, the American Cryptogram Association, and countless amateur codebreakers have, to this day, failed to crack. McCormick was a high school dropout who, according to a family member, said, quote, didn't write in code, he couldn't spell anything, just scribble. The 2 notes police found inside of McCormick's pocket consisted of 30 lines of seemingly random letters and numbers. Some of the code contains parentheses, other parts of it are circled. McCormick was an ex-con who was semi-employed at a gas station and alternated between staying with family members and living on the streets. He also suffered from heart and lung ailments and had been collecting disability at the time of his death. His criminal record consisted of a handful of misdemeanors plus a stint in prison for statutory rape. McCormick's body was found some 15 miles from his residence, even though he didn't own a car and public transportation did not go to that area. Which I kind of, I don't know, just reading about this guy, I kind of feel bad because I just feel like it sounds like he's like lower functioning and just got like completely like missed. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think when I was kind of reading up on him, it sounded like at one point someone believed he had paranoia, schizophrenia. So
okay.
I think he was schizophrenic, and that's why he struggled. But he wasn't getting the help he needed for it.
Right.
So he was just trying to survive how best he can.
Yeah, just like trying to make money any way you can, really, and stay afloat. Yeah. McCormick also sporadically traveled by bus to Florida, where a former girlfriend says he acts as a courier for drug runners, shuttling marijuana back to Missouri. There's conflicting reports about his mental condition. According to a Riverfront Times article while awaiting trial for the rape, his public defender believed McCormick might be suffering from some mental disease or defect. She had him tested by a local psychologist who found him mentally competent to stand trial. Though he was never diagnosed with any mental disorders, McCormick was considered to be street smart with an active imagination, but yet also possessed a naive, childlike attitude towards the world.
That sounds like schizophrenia.
Yeah, I was just
the active imagination. I'm going like didn't have anything, but it sounds like schizophrenia.
Yeah, so maybe he's not like more lower functioning like I was thinking.
Well, and plus, like some people with schizophrenia, they can pass as being normal.
For sure, yeah.
Because they've had it all their life, so they've learned to kind of mask it.
Yeah, like when especially when you need to,
Mm-hmm.
A few days before his death, McCormick's girlfriend stated after he returned from a drug smuggling job in Florida, he appeared shaken and anxious. He went to several hospitals for treatment of chest pains and asthma in the days before his death. Some investigators believe he wasn't actually looking for medical attention, but believed his life was in jeopardy and was seeking a safe place to stay. That's really sad. By 2011, the FBI's Cryptanalysis and Racketeering Records Unit had exhausted its resources trying to crack the cipher. Breaking the code could reveal the victim's whereabouts before his death and could lead to a solution of a homicide, the FBI said in a 2011 statement. Some people, including some members of Rahi's family, believe the notes to be nonsensical script of a mentally disabled person. Which, that kind of crossed my mind too. Like, is it possible that, like in one of his, like, more, like, schizophrenic states of mind, could he have just, like, jotted down something that didn't mean anything?
Well, maybe it meant something to him at the time.
To him, right, yeah.
But you know how it could just be, without being him, there'd be no way to really know how it all works. It's kind of like, somebody made a reference to this in Reddit, and I thought it was a little bit funny, but point on. It reminds me of Charlie Day in It's Always Sunny. Whenever he shows one of his freaking letters, nobody else can decipher what the hell it means, but he knows exactly what it means.
Yes. Not to totally sidebar, but I just started rewatching It's Always Sunny too. Oh man, when you haven't watched it in a while, you forget how fantastic it is.
Oh yeah.
Other family members claim that Ricky had been writing in code since he was a boy. Experts, including the FBI agent in charge of the case, assert the notes are authentic. Small details in the handwriting, like circle around portions of the code, indicate that it was personal in nature, possibly a to-do list. Okay, so that kind of answers my question. According to the FBI, the greatest challenge in this case is that McCormick likely intended the notes only to be read by himself. Other famous ciphers like the Zodiac Killer wanted their codes to eventually be cracked. There is, of course, the possibility that McCormick didn't write the code at all. Experts have not been able to conclusively prove that the notes are in his handwriting. It's also feasible the code was written for him by the drug dealers he was working for, or that he was just transporting the cipher from one place to another and wasn't even aware of the meaning. The FBI has an entire website dedicated to the case and invites amateur code breakers to try and solve it. Ultimately, it is believed the code contains information that will help catch McCormick's murderers. And that is the story of McCormick's mysterious death. Did you look at the website?
Yeah, so they actually have the note on there.
Okay.
So you can look at them. And then there's another site that I included on there that they actually have it all typed out. So it's not like just his handwritten note. It's actually typed out what it says on there. And then there's people can post what they think it is or what they're been able to decipher so far. But so there's a couple people who are like, I see this thing and I think it means this, but nobody has like anything concrete that deciphers the whole thing. It's like little bits and pieces.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start with something like that, but I'd be interested to look at it.
Yeah, even looking at it, like you see some things that are like the same that repeat.
Yeah, which makes it probably not, like how I was saying, like, oh, maybe it's just a bunch of symbols, but if it's repeating, it definitely seems more like code.
Yeah, because like there's things and you'll see like something different in the beginning, then there's this repeated line, and then something different at the end of it, and you see that in 3 areas where it's in parentheses. So you're going like, that must reference something. And someone had pointed out, because he was dyslexic, that maybe he sounded things out phonetically. And that's how he spelled it. So I was trying to look at that too and try to figure out if I could see something. And I'm going like, all right, it's not going to be that easy, because if people who do this as a living can't figure it out, I'm not going to just be like, oh, I sounded it out phonetically and figured it out. But
I feel like we could, though.
Right, we could. That'd be hilarious if like these guys are overthinking it so much, and it's like, no, really, it's just a simple. You just really had to sound it out. We solved it.
Something like that would be kind of interesting to bring, like, I don't know, maybe not something quite that difficult, but something similar that's like actually something that people are looking to decode would be fun to bring to like our game night crew and like just
Yeah.
kind of look at it. I don't know, just for the hell
Or
of it.
even I could see like bring it in to work for some of the patients to look at,
Oh,
and
that
not
would
tell
be
them what it is, and just see what they can decipher what it says.
that would be interesting. Yeah.
But then, of course, if one of them
Until
figures it out and it's something bad, and it's like, oh shit, what did I bring this in?
yeah, someone reads aloud like about a gruesome murder. It's like, okay, just write it down. We'll take it.
It's a kill list.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hadn't heard of that, and I'm surprised because it's, like I said, 1999. That's pretty weird.
Well, it's kind of like it's a really sad story because like this guy, I mean, okay, now it does say he did statutory rape, but the thing is, I feel like that can mean a lot of things. That can mean
Definitely.
something where like maybe he was younger and the girl was younger, and then the parents just didn't approve of it, so they, even though it was somewhat consenting. So sometimes with that stuff, it's like I don't know all the details. I need to know more about what that's about to really say like that person's a terrible person. But he's also seemed lower function,
Well,
and
that's
as
what I
he's
was gonna say is like, I mean, not that I would ever make something like that okay,
no
but
right.
like I said, if he got missed in the system, and like, who knows if you like even know better.
Right. So I think to some degree, like some people would say, like, oh, he's involved with drugs. He does that on his thing. He's an ex-con. But you also have to keep in mind, like a lot of people who have mental health issues that aren't being treated tend to fall into crime because they just don't know any better. That's the only way they can survive.
Right? Because it's hard to keep, a different kind of steady job.
Right.
With that kind of stuff going on.
But I do think like if he was murdered, which I was trying to look up details like of what if they even had anything on the autopsy, but I'm thinking either the body was just too decomposed for him to be able to tell. And but it's weird that he's just out in the middle of nowhere. So I kept thinking maybe it has something to do with the drugs. Like maybe he got picked up by one of the guys. Maybe a deal went wrong and they drove him out in the middle of nowhere and dumped the body.
Yeah, especially since he was so paranoid right before he died.
Yeah.
So he could have known, I don't know, that something was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of course, there's the other end of that though, where if you do have schizophrenia and you're paranoid from that, it's possible he could have walked himself out there.
That's true too. Or hitched a ride and
Yeah.
got that far and then didn't know where to go, so he just ended up succumbing to like the elements or something out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be curious to kind of look into the area. It says it was a cornfield, so
Or maybe the children of the corn got him.
it's very possible. 99, still children of the corn out there.
Yep. Jebediah.
Outlander. I haven't watched that in years.
That's another classic.
Mm-hmm.
I posted this thing on Facebook that was, you have the zodiac symbols, and how you always have like pictures that tell you like, oh, which zodiac symbol you are. Well, it's a Stephen King one, so they have all these different Stephen King movies that have come out and which zodiac they fall under. So I'm a Pisces, so of course I got Carrie because
nice.
It says over emotional.
Do you remember what a Virgo was?
Virgo, oh yeah, Virgo was a good one. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a good one.
Oh, okay, I'll have to go check it out.
You'll have to go check it out, but I know it's a good one. Salem was, I want to say Libra, but I could be wrong.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's hilarious.
I watched not too long ago. Shit. What's the one where all the machinery and trucks come to life?
Oh, Maximum Overdrive.
Yes, that was on.
Where it's all AC/DC. All songs are by AC/DC.
Oh man, and there's that one newlywed couple, and that chick is so annoying.
Oh, I
my
know. I
God.
kept waiting for her to get killed.
Oh my God, I forgot about her until they're like in the car and like the guy like I think he almost gets hit by a truck and she's like, "Are you down?" I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna kill you."
I also love the fact that the Coke machine, when it starts
Yes.
shooting at the coach or whatever it was.
Like, why can't you move over a foot?
Right.
And then it starts really firing at like the kids in the field.
Yeah.
Oh, man. No, that's a good
Yeah,
one. Man,
that's
I
a
love
classic.
yeah, even his like really bizarro movies like that are great.
I think around winter is always when I want to watch Misery.
Yep, that's a good time for Misery, and that's usually when I pick The Shining too, obviously. I
Mhm.
well, you know what sucks is I usually wait for a really good snowstorm to do The Shining, and we never really got like, you know, like the 8 or 10 inches that I would have put it on and just stayed at home, you know.
Yeah.
Not
Well, it
that
reminds
cold.
me, I still have that Shining board game that I'll have to bring it
Oh
up here
yeah.
sometimes. So, but it even
Bring
comes
that
with the hotel key.
nice. You should bring that to work sometime, or
Yeah,
if we ever can have an in-person game night again, we can bring it.
yeah, it looks pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we got sidetracked there with Stephen King. Send us your favorite Stephen King movie and
Or
books.
book. Yep.
Yep. Um, my friend actually got a picture in front of his house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a cool looking place, of course. It's Stephen
Does
King.
does he live out in Maine or where's he live?
Yeah, I think so. It was and his house is almost like you know, it's like those old houses that almost look kind of castle-like but smaller.
Oh, sure.
She shared the picture. I'll show you. It's pretty cool. But yeah. Back to our story here. If you got any more information on Ricky McCormick, let us know.
We'll post pictures and include the link of the
Yeah,
cipher at the FBI. It even has an address for the FBI if you figure it out to let them know. Because their code breakers also kind of want to know how to solve that one in case there are other ciphers out there.
man, what a cool job.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it gets real frustrating when you realize that you're going to spend like months on it and not get anywhere, but still would be cool.
You probably have to like study like every language, every
Symbolism and like all that kind of, yeah.
every code ever used.
That would be interesting. Or what would be probably more interesting for me is to watch someone else decode something.
Right. Like I'd rather watch Beautiful Mind and watch
Yeah.
him do his work
Right.
than actually have to do it myself.
Yeah, I'm not putting in that much work, let's be real.
No.
Yeah, so let us know about that. That's intense and really sad because yeah, I think he just got, like I said, I think he just got kind of missed in the system. I mean, granted, it's late '90s, so I don't know. Mental
It's
health
Missouri.
world is, yeah, very far behind everything else.
And I think people are just more interested in the cipher. It's kind of because like even like reading up on it, seemed like everybody kind of more focused on the cipher than the actual death of him. It's like, oh, he's kind of just like the second part of it, the
Yeah,
backstory.
yeah, I could see how that would happen. Well, you know, and then it's also like kind of appealing, like to potentially be able to help in a murder investigation, you know.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So yeah, check that out. Maybe our listeners will come together. Crack
Maybe
the
they'll
code.
solve it. Maybe try it out, sounding it out phonetically. Maybe that'll solve it.
Yeah, it's very simple. I was
Or
murdered.
just go into a psychosis state, and maybe you'll be able to figure it out.
That's true.
Psychotic state, yeah.
Maybe take a bunch of acid or something, some shrooms. Check it out.
Maybe it'll all come together.
Try some different methods. I think it'd work. Anyway, thanks for listening. You can always find us on, you know, Facebook, Instagram, email, descentpodcast@gmail.com. We got Twitter, right?
Yeah, we got Twitter. I always forget to post stuff on there because I hardly ever use it, so it's
It's
my fault.
I mean, I don't go on Twitter either, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it.
All right, sounds good.
All right, see you, everyone.
All right, stay warm.
Oh, shit, yeah. Thanks, guys, for listening. If you like what we're doing, please leave us a review. If you have theories or connections to this case, email us at dissentpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear it and might share it on our next episode. You can also find us at Dissent Podcast on Instagram, Descent into Darkness Podcast on Facebook, and on Twitter at @into_dissent. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/dissentpodcast. We appreciate any support from our listeners. There's multiple tiers you can do. You can donate one time, you can be a $3 monthly donator, or you can do $10 monthly and get access to our episodes early. Thanks again.